So it looks like we got ourselves a former UFC fighter who was participating and involved in part of a mafia, cartel member, whatever you guys want to call it, by the name of Alex Garcia, the Dominican Nightmare. Yup. Just in case you guys don't know, before we talk about what happened to this guy, what did he get busted for, the significance of it, let me introduce you to him. They call this guy the Dominican Nightmare. He competed in UFCs from the years 2013 to 2018. This guy made his UFC debut against Ben Wall, first round KO. This guy fought against Sean Strickland, been knocked out by Sean Strickland. You guys know Muslim Salikov. When Muslim Salikov made his UFC debut, guess who he fought? Alex Garcia. Guess who he lost to? Alex Garcia. Alex Garcia's last fight was in 2018 against who? Court McGee. If you guys don't remember, go watch the knockout against Mike Pyle at UFC 207, Amanda Nunes versus Ronda Rousey, which was Ronda Rousey's last fight, right? Devastating right hand KO from your boy Alex Garcia. And this was a dude that comes from the TriStar gym, right? Moved to Montreal, Canada, somewhere around 2010, and started training with George St. Pierre at the TriStar gym and made that his home state. Yup. At one time, this was George St. Pierre's training partner, a guy that, you know, they had brunch together. This was a guy that he trained, sweat, and breathed with every single day. And ended up residing in Montreal and been living there ever since. Well, since 2020, after he retired, he had his last fight against Court McGee, 2018, had 2 more fights, retired in 2020. The world didn't really know what was going on with Alex Garcia, but it turns out, breaking news, that today, Alex Garcia has been arrested along with 4 other guys, 2 of them are on the run, for being caught up with 100 kilos of yayo. Yup, cocaine. 100 kilos. And not just that, 5 kilograms of heroin. And also weapons, illegal cars. And one of the things that stood out to me that I want to talk about this, 20 liters of GHB, the stuff that was found in Diddy's oil bottles. What were they doing with that? The cocaine, the heroin, yes, take it off the streets, it is killing people, but the GHB, what was my boy doing with that? You guys, Alex Garcia has been absolutely busted, former UFC fighter, and now is looking to be, I don't know, spending what, 10 to 20 years in prison, right? It's absolutely breaking news to hear that somebody who was, you know, living in Montreal, Canada, was transporting drugs from Toronto back to Montreal. Yup. Supposedly, the police have been investigating him. And this investigation started in July, you know, mid-year 2025. And they picked up on a report that he was picking up exactly what we just explained from Toronto and was bringing it back to Montreal to be able to flip it. Yup. He's trying to flip it to make double money, but was getting investigated the whole time. 100 kilos of cocaine, 20 liters of GHB, 5 kilograms of heroin, illegal weapons, illegal cars. Alex Garcia was part of some mafia, and I don't want to bring up any names. The last time we made a video on specific names, we got a message, and it was a little weird, so I said, you know what? We'll stay away from digging too deep like that. But somebody Alex Garcia is involved in is a big shot caller in Canada. And it's crazy to see Alex Garcia involved in this, my friends, former UFC fighter. Of course, we haven't heard of him in a while. Of course, you know, he didn't fight. It's not like he had, 10, 15-year career with the UFC. Wasn't the most active fighter like we see nowadays, especially in the UFC right now. But still, man, Absolutely insane. The Dominican Nightmare. This was a guy, if you guys remember, was a playful dude. Outside the cage was funny. Inside the cage, crazy power. But outside the cage was like a cool, funny guy. You know, there's videos of him going to the bars, going to the clubs. Maybe he made connections that way. And that's how he got involved into the drug smuggling business. But yup, breaking news, my friends. Alex Garcia arrested.